A lot of people who see Glow for the first time say they feel like they've seen it before somewhere. That may be true. We have been creating this series slowly since 2016, but more likely their brain recognizes something familiar with the visual language of the comic. Here's a look at some of the worlds, shows, and games that have shaped Glow over the years. Aesthetically, the closest and most obvious reference point to Glow is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Both Vince and I grew up as the show originally aired, with its final season coming the summer before our first year of film school. It's, in my opinion, close to a perfect show. I love the themes of responsibility and forgiveness, and the East meets West anime style established by BGMemon has now embedded itself in a whole lineage of shows. In a lot of ways, Glow is our take on the Avatar story, except whereas Avatar takes its mythological cues from Tibetan Buddhism, Glow anchors itself with concepts from New Age spiritualism, especially those surrounding frequency, vibration, manifestation, and the nature of reality. Miyazaki's Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is another strong literary reference for Glow. Like Nausicaa, Glow explores themes of environmentalism in a post-fall world, and Kazi can trace much of her archetypal lineage to Nausicaa, what with her short hair, desert attire, and iconic long rifle. Studio Ghibli and Miyazaki form frequent reference points for all of our projects at Mythworks. In particular, the use of bright, vibrant colors is something we always try to bring forth in our projects. When we first pitched artists for Glow, Joe Madureira's Battle Chasers was often the second or third visual reference we cited. The iconic American comic series was the first I can remember that featured anime-inspired steampunk golems. And I mean, is there anything more cool than anime-inspired steampunk golems? Joe Mad would later help establish the visual language for another core memory for both Vince and myself, The World of Warcraft by Blizzard Entertainment. Specifically, Joe is probably the one responsible for the exaggerated pauldrons and other spectacular armor flourishes in WoW. Besides Avatar: The Last Airbender, Battle Chasers was one of the series that I could remember growing up that dabbled in that Western-influenced anime style, and you can certainly see its influence all across modern Western fantasy to this day. That game company's journey was hugely influential to Glow. The cover of our first issue is a direct homage to the iconic cover from Journey, and its sense of scope, lost history, and discovery is one we've tried to imitate in Glow. The red scarf of the protagonist was also a direct influence on the poncho of Kazi, and to this day we still look at Journey's color palette of vibrant pastel teals and pinks for inspiration. One game that you might think was a touchstone for Glow but actually wasn't is Squaresoft's Final Fantasy VII. I never played that game growing up. I actually got my start in the series with a much more traditional fantasy of Final Fantasy IX. Nonetheless, as an adult, there's a lot of parallel convergence I've noticed with the themes of Magitech that Final Fantasy VII explores, and what we're exploring with Glow. I often pitch Glow as a post-apocalyptic techno-fantasy, and I think those genre tags apply to Final Fantasy VII equally as well. Even though I didn't play it as a kid, experiencing the game as an adult has certainly now made its way into the development of Glow. Funny enough, I used to think JRPGs were so over-the-top and bombastic with their cosmic sans quasi-spiritual storylines, but the older I get, the more those themes resonate with me. Go figure. Though one thing you probably will not see in Glow is the idea of clones, at least for now. We've definitely thought about it, but that's probably the topic for another video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more Glow. The comic is available on our website, www.myth.works, and the soft trade paperback should be available soon everywhere books are sold. Until next time.